Hey everybody, Dark Sword here. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you find this entertaining as well as informational. We're going to talk about some other topics we've come across tonight. Some things around the military, out in the real world, kind of thing. Going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. I don't have a co-host again. We'll see how things go on. Maybe if I'm lucky, Rico will jump in when he gets home from work. But I'm not going to hold my breath. So at this point, it's all me. And if for some reason you see me looking up, it's because I have a new monitor. And if there's chat, that's where I'm going to be looking to see it. So please don't freak out. I'm still figuring this out as I go along. Doesn't suck. It's interesting to say the least. So we are going to jump right in as usual, shall we? Don't forget, at the top, all right, if you need to, Veterans Crisis Line, 1-800-273-8255. Press 1 for veterans. If you're a civilian, continue to listen, and they will get you where you need to be, and you can talk to a counselor and hopefully, get you where you need to be so that you can not do the forever sleep thing, that you get the help and you get back on track. That's what we look for here. Oh yes, don't forget you can also text 838-255. Don't want to you don't want to hear somebody's voice, you want to text them, do it. Reach out, ask for the help. It's not going to do anything. All the answers? No, they don't. Do they have some of them? Yeah. Can they point you in the right direction? Yes, they can. Hi, welcome to the channel. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So let's kick off with some good news and some astonishing news. 62-year-old Marine veteran sets the Guinness record with an 8-hour plank. Now, this is for real. This is actually being timed. This man takes being physically fit to a whole new level. You're able to do an 8-hour plank straight. You don't have abs. You have steel girders in your body, okay? Marine veteran George Hood, no stranger to breaking world records or his incredible fitness feats. He's a 12-time world record holder, and he proved it again. Now, this is from February of 2020, so it's some old news, but I still find it astonishing. And let's keep in mind, it's new information to the channel, so I'm good with it. I just won't rehash it later, more than likely, unless somebody brings it up. He served as an officer in the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division. He set the world record for the longest time in an abdominal plank position, male, with a time of 8 hours, 15 minutes, 15 seconds, according to Guinness. 8 hours of not moving, of holding your body weight up. 2 minutes, I think, just shy of 2 minutes was my best time ever. When, we figured out what the hell planks were. Just cannot believe it. Outstanding. Kudos to you, sir. I'm happy to see that, you're out there doing this. I mean, gentleman's now 63, I'm pretty sure, pushing 64, and he's not stopping from what I can tell. He first beat the record in 2011 with a time of 1 hour and 20 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, wow. And then his recent time, this last one for 8 hours, 15 minutes, 15 seconds, he beat Mao Weidong of Beijing, China, who lasted 8 hours, 1 minute. That's still fun. I mean, the mental fortitude you have to do something like that. Not just the physical prowess, but not let anything creep into the back of your mind that you can't do this. To constantly be in your head, 1 more minute. That's all we need. We need 1 more minute to do what we've got to do. For over 8 hours. Kudos to you, sir. Kudos. He's had a long and illustrious career, and just, yeah, Out freaking standing. Okay, now for some bad news. Oh, look, the National Guard's in trouble again. This is on USA Today. There's scandals in 13 states in the last decade that have issues, to say the least. The majority of the problems that are going on within the National Guard are the same things that have been hidden in the Army. Sexual assault. Okay. Originally, they're saying as a correction clarification, it was misreported in the Washington Post in 2015. Okay. This story corrects that. This is a whole command failure across the board. I don't care how you cut it. All right. This is being allowed. Things are happening. It's being covered up. And what is even worse is those who bring the allegations forward are facing reprisals. Okay. They are being subjected to retaliation through the cover-ups. It's horrific. All right. It doesn't matter what service you joined. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. What are they called? See, this is my brain going south on me. The Space Force, the National Guard, or the Air National Guard. We all raise our right hand and swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Within that, honor, duty, loyalty, respect should go without being said. Okay? And if somebody crosses the line, throw them to the fucking wolves. Okay? They need to go. They need to be brought up on charges. They need to be dealt with accordingly. But for the last decade, they have gotten away with things. Okay? In Maryland, here, right, if you read down here a little bit, in Maryland, a black soldier was taunted and forced to wear chains as punishment for reporting sexual harassment. In Vermont, an Air Guard commander allegedly flew a fighter jet to Washington, D.C., where he had a tryst with a Pentagon official. Well, that never happens. Shit like that's a story of legend, okay? Let's be honest. But damn. This individual allegedly filed a flight plan to take a Air Guard, jet. And it doesn't matter what kind of jet. If, it being a fighter makes it a little worse, I think. Hopefully it wasn't armed. Where he flew to the Capitol. Say what? Okay. This is another one of those issues. I mean, we've brought it up before. This is unacceptable. I don't care how you look at it. Okay. When you graduate from basic training, I don't care if you are a National Guardsman to a state. You are a soldier, you're a sailor, you're an airman, you're a Marine, you're a defender. That's what you are. Okay. You know better. Granted, most of you males, your brains haven't formed until your late 20s. I get it. I understand. But let's be realistic here. You know right from wrong. Okay? I don't care what your pay grade is. I don't care if you're in the 06 club. I don't care if you're in the E9 club or E8 club. You do wrong, you get punished. And you should be getting punished the same way as an E1 or an O1 gets punished, okay? You are not above the law because you have rank. You are not above the law because you are serving our citizens, okay? You are doing a disservice, a hard disservice to our veterans, okay? To our country, to our citizens, to these individuals. By doing these things, okay? It is unacceptable now. It has been in the past, and it will be forever. It is my personal opinion, Dark Sword's personal opinion. They need to hang you out to dry. And if you helped cover it up, you go right along with them. And that'd be dishonorable discharges for everybody. Good luck with the rest of your life because you broke the fucking law. Do not tell me that you are better than that. Everybody gets held to the same standard. Period. Here's some interesting news, shall we go? The VA has set the second worst COVID vaccination rate among all federal agencies. So let's stop and think about this for a minute. Out of all the federal agencies out there, because, we have a lot of them for no apparent reason. The VA, the one that deals with, medicine, has the second worst rate. Let me think about that for a minute, shall we? Out of 426,000 staffs, 52,000 of the department have not been vaccinated even one time. Why, you ask? Well, 42,000, so roughly 10,000 of them, have requested an exemption based on health or religious reasons. Okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with that in my world. However, you have the other 10,000 who have either refused to comply or declined to respond to repeated requests about their status. So, privacy. People are allowed to have privacy, I thought. Pretty sure. Law enforcement can't walk past your house, look in the window and decide you're breaking the law and arrest you. It has happened. That really, really, truly has happened. Scary thought. It got thrown out of court. I do remember that much. I don't remember when it happened. It's just somewhere in my brain. Worthless knowledge. Welcome to my world. So, the only agency that's worse is the Department of Agriculture. They can't find the farmers. You're talking, the State Department's vaccination rate is more than 96%. So what you're saying is not every agency is at 100%. Why would this be? Wasn't it an executive order that was given for all military and civilian government employees to get the vaccination? I do believe the answer is yes on that one. But as you can see, not everybody has done this. There are religious reasons for it. And in some cases, there truly are health reasons. Okay. What those are, I can't get into. Not a doc. Okay. So what are we going to do about this? More or less, it should be, it's 100%. Now we got about 10,000 that have religious health, reasons. Now, of course, there are going to be some that just absolutely refuse to get it. And that's their business. That's their choice. Oh my God. I said the C word. People have a choice? Yes, they do. Compliance is not patriotism, but we're not going down that road. Okay, everybody? Do we get vaccinated or do we not? Does it really matter? I hardly leave my home. I don't go out into big crowds. I have mental health issues that preclude me from doing things. Did I need to get it? Probably not. if it weren't for my mother being, a staunch supporter of it and asking me politely numerous times, I went and got it. I am vaccinated. So far, not much has really happened. Don't know, should be perfectly safe for everybody to get, Just kidding, people. Take a joke. Ah. If you can even see it. Yep, there it is. Oh, God, I got to lose weight. My jowls are flopping around. Okay. Here we go. There is something to be said for different aspects of security in the military, which filters down to the National Guard. You have personnel security dealing with background investigations and security clearances. You have information security, kind of goes with, what it sounds like, securing and protecting classified information, things like that. Then you have operation security. Otherwise known as OPSEC. Operation security. And I've run the program. I know what it's supposed to be doing. I know how it works. In a nutshell, you don't tell people what you're going to be doing before you do it. Read the title again. Kentucky National Guard soldiers deploying to Eastern Africa. So now the world knows that we've got the Kentucky National Guard is going to deploy to Eastern Africa in some capacity. Let's read on, shall we? At a ceremony on Sunday at the Lexington Airport, honoring the members of the Somerset-based 149th Infantry Regiment as they entered federal active duty, the National Guard said in a news release. They're sending 150 soldiers to Eastern Africa. Kind of vague. East Africa, pretty good size. Yeah. Okay, let's read on, shall we? The unit will deploy under the command of a task force from the Virginia Army National Guard and provide security around the Horn of Africa. Well, that narrowed it the fuck down. Okay, let's recap, shall we? 150 National Guard soldiers from Kentucky under the command of the Virginia Army National Guard are going to the Horn of Africa. How long do you think it'll be before they get there? Oh, let's add to this. Another 200 National Guard members are preparing for a separate mobilization to southeastern Europe in early 2022. They will work with the, again, Virginia National Guard in a NATO-led peacekeeping mission in Kosovo. So we're sending another 200 or so National Guard members from Kentucky under command of the Virginia National Guard to a NATO-led peacekeeping mission in Kosovo. Why are we telling the planet this information, you flipping morons? This is unacceptable. I don't care how you put it. It is unacceptable. You are not supposed to tell your enemy where you're going, when you're going to be there, and your fucking troop strength. Quote from the Adjutant General, Major General Hal Lamberton. I am completely confident in the chain of command for this unit. From the company level to the battalion level to the brigade, these soldiers are well trained as any in the Guard, Reserve, or active duty. Stupid 2-star. Shut your fucking mouth. Stop telling the planet what's going on. Is it that hard? You know what you do? When they all come back, welcome home from your mission to, the Horn of Africa, to Kosovo. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you going and doing this. Ooh, I don't get it. Now, this item I'm unaware of. Okay, and I read some into this story. Yeah, I got to get off that topic because it's just pissing me off. So I digress. Back to student veterans face huge cuts in housing stipends if Congress doesn't act soon. Now, according to this story, which was published Monday the 22nd, so last week, the money that's provided for housing for students who have or are attending online colleges is going to be cut substantially. And that total can range up to about $2,000 depending on location where the student resides. The young lady who is the veteran from the Air Force, Allie Schroeder, is taking online courses. They don't offer in her location, wherever the colleges are that are around where she lives. So she has to take these courses online. She's still going to college full time. She's still taking a full caseload according to the Veterans Administration and the federal government. So maybe she can work part-time. Some of these online courses are pretty difficult. Okay. And it's not like, I get to hop on for 45 minutes here or an hour there, and I got to respond to a couple of people and this and that. You can spend upwards of 10, 12 hours per class a week trying to get things accomplished, including your studying and testing and everything like that, and writing whatever your homework assignments are. And you're taking 2 classes at a time. So double that. So it's almost as if it's like working almost, at a part-time job that, you got to get paid for. You got bills to pay. All right. These are grown people who have families in most cases and they have to have someplace to live. Well, that's what that money's for. So we're going to follow up on this probably next week and see if there's any forward movement on it. Hopefully this gets resolved pretty quickly. Pardon me. Hopefully this gets dealt with and there's not a drop in how things are going. No drop in funding for these people so that they can continue their colleges and not have to worry about paying their bills. It's amazing how the government does these things, isn't it? So, kind of, I don't think we're going to see it. We're going to have a problem with it. I think it'll be dealt with appropriately at the right time, but knowing the government, they'll wait till the last minute. Like always. Kind of like what they're doing with the budget, but we're not going to talk about that one. I decided tonight we're not going to talk about the budget going tits up and, 4 more days. So that's a non-issue for me at this point. Now on to some good stuff. Okay. We started with some good stuff. We got the bad stuff out of the way. We're back to some of the good stuff. Here we go. Disabled combat veteran opens a pecan business, or pecan, however you want to say it. I don't care. in Georgia. So this veteran, Mr. Williams here, purchased his home in Quincy Farms in Byron, Georgia, the late summer of 2020, and started a pecan processing facility and opening a storefront. Okay. Think about this for a minute. He started a pecan business out of his home. And he admits, didn't know a damn thing about pecans before going to Georgia. When you go to Georgia, you tend to learn about two things. One, are pecans. Big producer for pecans right there. And peaches. Oh, good, sweet Georgia peaches. I love those. I really do. I miss them. I'm going to keep my eyes open, see if they show up here in the stores in Texas, and maybe get some this year. Okay. So he's a disabled veteran. He got wounded in Iraq. I take that back. I don't know, but I'm going to go with that. The Iraq combat disabled veteran decided to move from the Midwest to Middle Georgia to live near his mom after retiring from the Air Force. He served from 2008 to 2020. Okay. What they left out was medical retiring. He medically retired from the military. All right. His property, which he describes as a small farm, was filled with pecan trees, 86 of them. Now, 86 pecan trees can produce a large number of pecans, okay? So he decided to buy a pecan sheller with plans of selling his pecans. And then he bought more used equipment. There's a pattern here that most people fall into. Well, I want to do this, so I need this. Oh, wait, I have this now. Now I need that. Oh, what about those? I need that too. Yeah. Watch. Then he bought some more used equipment. About that time, a company, Sassnet Fruit and Nuts, was closing its doors. My guess, going out of business, family business or something. They decided to move on, or the matriarch or patriarch may have passed away and they just didn't want to keep it going. So he picked up some of their equipment as well as some of their storefront furniture. Smart move. On October 15th, he opened a storefront in a converted old home, and the Nut House Pecan Company was born. The name seems fitting to Williams, who's selling nuts out of an old house. Let's be honest, it's a nut house because we're veterans. You know, it fits. It goes both ways. I'll tell you, it goes both ways. All right. When walking into the small storefront, customers may smell a fresh batch of his praline pecans, a mixture of cinnamon and sugar roasting on site. I would eat it out of the cooker. Those are so good. If you never had them, try them. But I don't like pecans. You'll like these. Customers can expect to find fresh Georgia peaches, halves, pieces, vacuum sealed for sale. When he starts shipping, I'm going to start buying. For those who like to crack pecans themselves, he sells nuts in their shells, but he can also sell them cracked. He's got a cracker. No, not a slight on white people. It's actually called a cracker. Okay. His process prices are 70 cents a pound to crack and shell. Do the math. 50 cents per pound to crack it only. See, he's got a cracker. And $1.80 a pound to shell pack, which I'm going to say is the 70 cents plus whatever it cost him for the equipment and everything to vacuum seal it. I think that's what shell pack means. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Don't like it. I don't care. Hi, welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in the channel. I appreciate having you here. Hop in the chat if you have any things you want to discuss about some of the stories we're going over. What do we got here? Okay. So he also buys walnuts and almonds wholesale. and he sells those. And the processing facility remains on his property for now. No surprise. I'd do it that way too. You know, if I bought a farm or something, I'd do it that way. It's not a big deal. All right. But he said he has plans to eventually tear down the Main Street building and construct a new storefront and move the processing facility onto the same property. Okay. Could happen in the next 2 years. We'll see how it all goes. Yeah, hopefully we'll see the article down the road, and we'll see where he ends up with there. Okay. Just remember, veteran-owned business. If you're in the area, stop in and say hi at least. Check him out. You know, his prices may be a little higher because he's a private owner. You know, he doesn't have the bulk, purchasing power of some of these larger stores. You know, but subsidize him. Wouldn't hurt. You know, keep him going. I'm sorry about the stream, everybody. Twitch is cutting my bit rate for whatever reason. It is not on my end. I have my performance review up right now, and trust me, it's not me. Oh, hey, sweetie pie. One of my puppies has come to say hi, Dad. Iraq War veteran, another one from Iraq, launches business to employ former soldiers. Gotta love these. Love these stories. Okay. Brighton Township, Michigan. War veteran Justin Billard is launching a business that will employ and support fellow returned soldiers. Tools for Veterans is housed in a workshop that Billard set up in his home garage. There he collects old tools, old hand tools, cleans and restores them, and sells them online or at local events. Badass. All right. I don't care how you cut that. That is badass. Stepping up, doing a thing, making, refurbishing something that is old. You can't beat that. He plans to expand the business to a larger facility in the area next year. I wish him good luck with that. He also hopes to fill the shop with veterans who love restoring old tools. You want to contribute to something you understand and believe in. If you have the connection, you are more passionate. I can't argue with that statement. I really, really can't. Previously, he ran a private detective agency, but now with his wife and 4-year-old daughter and a set of newborn twins, he put that up to a less risky career. That's smart. I bet he's got some stories he can tell, not just from war, but the stupidity he's witnessed as a PI. The company Tools for Veterans will donate a percentage of profits on a quarterly basis to charities that support veterans causes, with an emphasis on those in Livingston County, keeping it at home. Appreciate that. He currently employs 2 veterans and 1 employee who is not, and hopes to hire more in the future. He's working on a series of videos telling veteran stories. He describes them as kitchen table interviews, which he'll share on social media. I'll be looking for those as well. Can't wait to see it. He says, I think that those stories are important to get the whole picture. What did they do when they returned? Were they married during their service? Some guys have 30 or 40 years of career experience after the service. That's a lot of experience, and what did they do? How did they, get through that transition from being active duty to a civilian where, for 40 years in some cases, your entire day is basically regimented of what's going to be done at minimum 5 days a week. How do you transition to civilian and, be able to get along and not have any issues? It's kind of it was hard. It was difficult for me. It was difficult for a lot of people to do that. So we'll see. But kudos to him as well. I hope it all works out and he's able to expand and hire more people in. Let's go to NASA. Going to learn a few things tonight. Okay. NASA research launches new generation of indoor farming. You know, there are practical reasons for them to be looking into this. It's NASA. Why are they into farming? You'll find out if you haven't figured it out already. The United Nations predicts Earth will have to feed another 2.3 billion, with a B as in Bravo, people by 2050. That's fucking scary. Mostly concentrated in urban centers far from farmland. That's why we have trucks and trains. Conventional agriculture may not be able to meet that demand. Stop running the fucking farmers out of business, you assholes. But luckily, NASA has been working for decades to tackle food production, both on Earth and in space. Feeding astronauts during long-term space exploration means stretching resources to grow plants in space, including minimizing water use and energy consumption and eliminating soil. Okay, got that. Hi, welcome to the channel. Nice to see you. Oh, hey, Redneck. Hey, you can hop in my channel and hop on in the lobby, and we can talk if you so desire. It's good to see you. So, in a nutshell, what they're talking about doing is hydroponics, okay, or aquaponics in some cases. Aquaponics is if they take fish with them. I don't know that a fish can survive liftoff. I could be wrong. So what they've done is they've created the first vertical farm where all the trays are literally going up a wall. Different rows, as you can see in the picture. I'm going with different types of lettuce, probably. Let's see, I didn't read it. Well, of course, they're using robotics. Good for them. It is a proprietary technology. Grows the company Spicy Zuna Mix. Okay. It doesn't say what exactly it is. The idea behind it was to demonstrate that you can grow plants, vegetables in an area that has no sunlight and it's not open air. There's a lot of people that have been growing weed for decades that could have told them this. I didn't say that, did I? This has been happening for a long time. Now, granted, it did start at NASA, okay? The technology started at NASA, and the nice thing about NASA is pretty much everything they do is public knowledge, okay? That's part of the charter. It has to be open. They cannot maintain secrets and things like that. Now, there are certain proprietary computer programs and parts and things like that that are created by other companies that are under contract to NASA that cannot be released to the public under federal law. So they're not keeping this. They're maintaining the proprietary information of the companies to protect the company from, that competition of coming out and stealing their shit. And then, doing it, they can build the same part, but it's going to cost less because they didn't have to do the R&D on it. I mean, that's why we have these things, to protect companies. So what they did was they built the country's first vertical farm inside a decommissioned hyperbaric chamber left over from testing of the Mercury space capsule. So this thing is pretty much sealed. Okay. It's dark. So they're using grow plants and grow lights. Grow plants. Okay. The idea is to grow the plants that aren't outside and not in soil. Now, I dabbled back in a bit, back in the day, and if you're on Facebook and you're seeing me there, you can go back in my pictures and you'll find out that probably 7 years ago, probably 6 years ago or so, I dabbled in some hydroponics and I was able to grow lettuce and several herbs in an area with no soil. So it is feasible. I did not have the proper conditions being in Central Florida, and I killed pretty much everything from the heat and humidity. But it's doable, and mine was outside, open air, but it worked. Things grew. I was happy. Then I killed everything. What the issue comes down to, especially when you're dealing with space, is lack of gravity. Now, I don't know if they could do anything to generate gravity. I would love to see the specs on this to see how this wall actually works. If any of you were lucky enough to go to Epcot at Disney World Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, you can take a tour of a hydroponics area that they have, and now I forget the name of the building. But you can take a boat ride. It's a tour, and you go through, and you see what they're growing, and some of the food is actually served in the restaurants in that building. And it's not just lettuce, but peppers and melons and tomatoes and all sorts of things. It's really, really neat setup. You can also, and you have to schedule it in advance, take a tour of it. They've got, I think, 2 different ones, or at least they used to have 2 different ones, that you can actually go behind the scenes, and you go with a small group and you walk through and they tell you about the different things and whatnot. And it's really, really cool. Of course, it's Disney, so all their shit's computerized. But it's a really neat setup. So what they're, in a nutshell, what they're pretty much doing, let me send you an invite. I don't know if you are you still here? There you are. Okay, I sent you an invite, Redneck. If you couldn't find my channel, because it is kind of, a little out there. What they want to do is be able to optimize and control the plant growth. Now, in a space station, growing these things is also going to help with the production and cleaning, scrubbing of the environment for oxygen production. So they may be able to stay up longer depending on how things go, using the math, of course, to see where it is if, anybody wants to get in there, or not to get in there. My brain's going to left field again. Sorry. They do the math to see how much oxygen it'll produce on top of what they have, and they're able to scrub the carbon dioxide out of, so that they can, breathe better. And of course, green plants, do this, and it's a wonderful thing for human beings that be able to breathe. Oh, excuse me. So hopefully this continues to work out, and we'll see how this pans out in the future for, say, the space travel to Mars, because that's going to require an extended travel time, of course. And you can't, I don't entirely comprehend why we can't do things slightly differently and put a ship in outer space that we can stock. We can assemble the parts of it in outer space, stock it up with everything, and send it on its merry way and be able to bring it back. Apparently, I'm not smart enough to figure that out. So we're still working on the situation of something similar to the Apollo program, where we're going to launch a couple of people off to Mars. Good luck, God bless, Godspeed, and let us know when you get there. It's a one-way trip at this point. There's no return. So hopefully we can come up with things that will, over time, put it together so that we can bring them back and get a lot of good information out of it. Now, currently the global market worth is $2.9 billion. All right. They're estimating that vertical farming market could reach $7.3 billion in the next 4 years. Count them, 4 years. The entire industry is built on NASA research, which is really, really cool. Now, what a lot of people don't know, and we're going to delve into this because I've got some information to pass out to everybody regarding programs that can help if you wanted to get into something like this. Okay. There are government grants that you can apply for. And a government grant has specific requirements. Okay. You can find this article on the NASA website. Okay. Under the news topics. There's ones going on right now where how well do things grow under a red LED light? How well do things grow under a blue LED light? Under white, under yellow, under green, under purple, whatever. The government is paying for people to research this. And no, they don't have to be scientists. They have to know what they're doing in the growth. Everything else has to be static, temperature, humidity, nutrition, the nutrients for the food, water purification, things like that. But they just have to monitor day to day, sizes, measure things, and see what grows better where, under what conditions, because that's going to help them out. Now, there are things called grow lights, which do emit the spectrum that are needed for most plants, but not all plants. They're very similar to sunlight. You'll find them on fish tanks, especially saltwater tanks, to help get the light down to the level it needs to be for certain fish that are deep water fish. They get more of the blue light as opposed to the white light. So again, things like that do have to be taken into account. So possibly, if you reached out and you were able to start something like this, then, you could be part of that larger, market in 4 years. Now, how do you get to be part of this? You've never started a business before. You've been in the military. Okay. So order and discipline go hand in hand with this. You have to be dedicated. You have to have drive, and you have to have the desire. Okay. Those are my 3 Ds. For veterans, the Small Business Association, government entity, has programs specifically for veterans. They have the Veteran Business Outreach Center, okay? And they help with small businesses. They help with transition assistance programs, pre-business plan workshops. What do you need to do before you start doing your business plan? They can help you through the business plan, concept assessments, all the way through, get you with mentors and other people, a comprehensive feasibility analysis. And this is for any type of program, any type of company you want to start. Now, mind you, if you want to do like a bed and breakfast kind of thing, they tend to shy away from most of those. They're looking for things that are tangible. Farming, livestock, stores, these other individuals, okay? Small business loans, things like that. They can help you with that, point you in the right direction, get all the help you with the paperwork, getting it set so you can get a small business loan, and be able to, start funding your business so you can make it a reality. And as long as you have that background and all that support system behind you, that you can always reach back and go, I'm starting to run into a problem. How can we, address this? Banks will actually take a little bit more of a risk on you because you've gone through the programs. Now, the Small Business Association, has also women's business centers. I think, don't quote me, that they have a specific one for women veterans, business owners. They have small business development centers in most major cities and outlying areas. And they have mentoring, where you will get teamed with someone in that area that has that kind of experience to help guide you and get you where you want to be. You're going to start out, with a small business by definition. Okay. Couple of employees, yourself, and, just to get it up and running, help you with the startup costs. Do you need a storefront? All this other stuff. If you were going to do the hydroponics, do you need a warehouse, or do you need a building in your yard? If your yard is large enough to have one, if your HOA will let you have one, mine won't. Great resources, lots of information. They do have classes and courses you can take. Now, for you vets out there, still active duty, getting ready to get out, maybe wanting to get out, welcome to Boots to Business. Okay. Supported by the Small Business Administration. These are some great classes. Okay. Just go in, create a login, find your local office. These are specifically geared towards active duty and veterans. Okay. They're doing classes now a lot. Quite a bit of them are now online. If you look at the calendar here for next month, you got Fort Leonard, Missouri, Cherry Point, North Carolina, Scott Air Force Base in Illinois, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, Fort Eustis, Virginia, on down, Goodfellow Air Force Base, Kings Bay, Georgia. I mean, they're all over the place. All right. If they're in the area, you can schedule to go to these classes. Now, that's just a general what's out there. Here's your registration process. All right. Minimum, you have to have, you got to provide your first and last name and have an active civilian email address, what your service status is. All right. Then you can, fill in the blanks for everything else. Okay. You can pick out what these are. Let's go with Patrick Air Force Base, Florida. All right. What do they have here? Boots to Business. So it is the Boots to Business class. This one's online actually. So maybe they're doing it all online. So 2 half days online, 8:30 to 12:30. You link in through Zoom. They may very well, I don't know if it's all online or not, but I'm going to say it is at this point. They're probably doing them all online. But you provide them with the information of what your kind of business you want to start and things like that. This is pre-business plan information, okay? They also have different avenues for funding and mentorship and other things aside from what you would get from the Small Business Administration, okay? So keep that in mind. Great program. It's literally sbavets.force.com. All right. Or just do a Google search for Boots to Business. All right. Go in there, look it up. They've got follow-on support. A couple of colleges, in this case, Mississippi State University has a revenue readiness program. Okay. You got to do Boots to Business, then you can schedule that. Or you follow-on support with the Veteran Business Outreach Centers, SCORE, the Mentors, Small Business Development Centers, Women Business Centers, and the SBA Learning Platform. So there's a lot of information out there for anyone who is a prospective entrepreneur and wants to delve into any kind of business that's legal. And unfortunately, marijuana farming is not going to be covered under this. So I'm afraid those of you who want to start your own farm, it's not going to go through, sadly. In the interim, or I digress. Check them out. It doesn't hurt if you thought about starting a business, even if it's something out of your own garage, but you don't have the money to put forward to buy the equipment. Okay. You just don't have that kind of an income that's disposable. You don't have that level of credit. When I say level of credit, you don't have that liquidity. Okay. You don't have a $20,000 credit card with $5,000 on it, and you need to spend $10,000 for equipment. You can go through the Small Business Administration and their programs, Boots to Business, and you can get that funding so that you can put together your business and have it take off. They have micro loans, they have small business loans. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So keep that in mind. And if you're going to do this, good luck to you. I have no doubt that if you put your mind to it, you will succeed. So with that, everybody, we're going to call it a night. I appreciate you stopping in. I'm glad to have you here. And we will see you on Wednesday on the next show. Until then, take care of yourself.